Okay, so it's a little chilly. I don't think we'll be going much further into the water today, but we're at the beach and that's all that matters. We'll get in the water eventually. It is Lake Michigan. It's always going to be cold. It's never going to be bath water. Some days are just warmer than others, but it's okay because we're at the beach and I'm just super excited. Welcome to Mears State Park. Today we're hanging out at Mears State Park. It is in lower central northern Michigan, right about here. It's halfway between Silver Lake and Ludington. It's a relatively small community, but a great one right on Lake Michigan. It's one of our state parks that's located right on the beach, and as you'll see, it's a really popular place to be.
Mears State Park is small. It's only about 50 acres, and there's two main components to it. There is a good-sized campground, and there is a huge beach.
And it's an awesome beach. It's lots of sand. It's a good beach.
When we're done filming here, I'm pretty sure you're going out to the beach?
We'll be going to the beach.
But not in the water.
No, it's kind of cold. We were near here at a different campground yesterday, and the beach was awesome there too, but the water was freezing. I mean, you could barely get your feet in before they were numb and you had to jump out. So we're gonna try it here, but if nothing else, it's sunny. We haven't seen that in months, and I am ready to go to the beach in my swimsuit and lay in a towel.
Beach.
Beach, sun, swimsuit, water.
And yeah, the beach is pretty quiet today because it's really early in the summer. The water is still really cold, but this can be a crazy beach in the middle of summer when it's a hot day out.
Yeah, come early because the parking lot is just packed and there are golf carts everywhere. There are bikes everywhere. It's a short walk just into the town of Patwater. I mean, literally like a couple blocks. And so people are parked up and down the street because you can just walk into the state park as well from town. So people are literally parked all over the town, all over the parking lot, trying to get onto this beach.
Yeah, and Penwater is a nice little tourist town. I mean, there's ice cream shops and stores, and it's just a cute little town to wander through. Yeah, you're trying to get me to start some ice cream tour.
We're going on the ice cream tour. Come on, there's lots of good ice cream in this state.
But it's a nice little town near here. It can be a crazy beach. It can definitely be a crazy campground, and by that I mean packed. There's 175 sites, most in the sun too, so that's something to keep in mind. I think I said when I looked at them about 24 maybe that have some shade to them.
And it might be being generous saying they have shade. I mean, the campground is built into the beach. All of the sites are in the sand. Some of them are paved. I think actually all the sites have a paved spot you can put your trailer on, but you're essentially camping in the sand.
Yeah, you will have sand. Bring a broom for your rig if you don't already carry one.
For your kids, for your dog, for everything.
Bring a hose for your outdoor shower to sprinkle the kids off before they get in the rig. But yeah, you're gonna have a lot of sand. But part of what makes it so crazy is there's 175 sites and they are packed in tight. They're very narrow sites. They're very close together. The road around the campground is very narrow. So we have seen some interesting maneuvers being done in the years that we've been here for people to try to maneuver their larger rigs in and out of these spaces. And it's usually you'll have a group of neighbors coming out to help you. I think a lot of times people do that as a defensive measure to make sure that you don't hit their car or their rig. But
well, and we have to remember most of these were built, a long time ago in the 50s, 40s, where slides and trailers weren't a thing. And so you were talking narrow pop-ups, narrow travel trailers. And so these sites are really packed together. So you have to watch, if you put your slide out, where is your neighbor's slide going to be? Especially because most units nowadays have slides on both sides. So you have to kind of maneuver yourself and position, and the few trees that are there, you have to, make sure your slide isn't going to hit a tree as well. So it's just something to be aware of here, that you are super, super tight here.
Yeah, and this land is actually from a lumber baron. Big surprise, right? In Michigan, it was either auto magnates or lumber barons. Yeah. But Charles Mears was a lumber baron, and he owned this property. And then after he died, I think it was 1923, his daughter donated the land to the state, and they turned it into Mears State Park. So that's really cool that we have that. In addition, like I said, the campground and the beach are the two main things here. There is a 1-mile hiking trail that I might try. It supposedly climbs one of the dunes here.
Yeah. Right, and because the dunes are a protected ecosystem, you're not normally supposed to be on the dunes. So when you do get a chance to go up on an overlook, that is something cool to do because Normally, we don't want you on the dunes because they are fragile and they can be destroyed, both from a habitat perspective and just a regular ecological perspective. So, enjoy the white, flat, sandy beaches, but don't climb the dunes.
Yeah. And a lot of people enjoy this place in the summer. Like I said, it generally is packed. So it's a nice place to come hang out at the beach. You have to be prepared to deal with people. You have to be patient, whether it's in the parking lot or on the beach, or if you stay in the campground. Oh, we should note the campground is essentially right at the end of the parking lot to the beach. So
yeah, I mean, it's right there.
If you're camping, you're walking to the beach. That's not a problem. Yeah, that's not a problem at all.
I mean, that's what we say. When the campground is literally built into the beach, I mean, it's really an extension of it. So
yeah, the beach ends, you get in the dunes, and the campground.
And you're the campground.
In there. So nice place. If you consider checking it out, definitely one of those also where you need to reserve early.
Oh my gosh, yeah, these are booked. And we know people that it's 15 days, 14 or 15 days is the max that you can stay at any one time in a campground, and then you have to move and go somewhere else and then come back. And we know a family that they piggyback between here and Silver Lake a couple times a summer. They'll do 14 days here, 14 days at Silver Lake, 14 days here, just because they have to leave, but they love it so much. So, but you definitely have to book on that 6 months reservation in order to get it, for sure.
In addition to the restroom facilities at the campground, the beach also has its own set of restrooms for ladies and men, and there are changing stations in there. Plus there is a little convenience store. You can get drinks, ice cream, souvenirs and gifts, that kind of thing. So they're here to cater to everybody. And just like we're starting to see at other state parks, if you don't have your own rig, you can rent one, because they have a pop-up camper here for you to borrow. While Jesse is enjoying the beach, I decided to take that hike. It's called the Old Baldy Foot Trail. It has nothing to do with the current state of your hair. Apparently, this is an old sand dune called Old Baldy. And it says foot trail, but really it's a series of steps and landings to take you to a platform at the top. And when we get there, I guess we'll see what the view is, and I'll share it with you. When you get to the platform at the end of the stairs, there is technically a view. It's a very narrow view. Once the foliage has grown in, the trees are pretty much in the way now. And depending on what's going on over the lake, you can see Lake Michigan, but it's pretty hazy out there today, even though it's sunny. And so it wasn't really much to look at. But beyond the platform is another trail, a real trail, that allows you to walk around up here on top of the dune, and just kind of a neat, peaceful hike through here. I should note that Old Baldy Trail starts at the back of the campground, and there is a sign for it, and there's the stairs. Nearby is what looks to be maybe the original trail up the dune, and you can see there's at least one blue dot trail marker off in the distance, but at the very beginning it's marked with 2 blue X's, so you'll know that you should not be using that trail anymore. And don't, as it will get you to the platform, but then you're not helping to protect the dune, and we have to protect all the dunes, including Old Baldy. The most strenuous part of the hike up Old Baldy is the stairway. And once you've accomplished that, you might as well keep going up this little trail and actually get to the top of Old Baldy. And you have a much better view right behind. I'm standing at the top right now, and then right behind me, you start to go down just a little bit and you get a nice view of the lake. Again, it's kind of hazy today, so you can't see it all that well, but on clearer days, I think it would be really cool up here. And once you've made it to the platform, it's not that far, so go ahead and make the hike up to the top and enjoy the view. If you want a quicker way down than going back to the stairs after you've climbed to the top, it's not very easy to do this while filming, or filming while doing this. You can hike down the side of the dune. They do let you do that. There are numbers along the way that show that it's an official path. If hanging out at the beach all day is your thing, like this one, then this would be a really convenient place to camp. You're just gonna have to deal with neighbors.
Yeah, but you make friends and, have a bonfire and let your kids play in the sand. I mean, that's what camping's all about, really.
Right.
Just let them have fun.
The RV community is great about that, so I don't say that in a bad way. It's just, it's one of those places where you're real close to your neighbors, and you're gonna get to know them, whether you want to or not. So you might as well make the most of it. Whether you are camping on the beach, camping in the woods, wherever you decide to go, keep on trekking.
And we'll see you out there. It's always a good day for ice cream. Look, I found ice cream.
Is this going to be our next trek around the state?
Wait, we're going on the ice cream tour of Michigan? I don't know if they have a centennial, but we're gonna make one.